drilling like we're doing today. You've got offset guides, you've got all the different screwdrivers. So there's loads of stuff on there, and it's probably overkill and a little bit overwhelming. So what we'll do now is just pick out the bits that you're actually going to use. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take the black handle. It's like the main guide that you'd use for ACL, meniscal root, that kind of thing. I'll take this little sleeve here, and you know it's the right one because it says 2.4 millimeters on it. Okay. What I would also do when you open these sets is just go through the reamers. So you're going to have a few reamers in here, and there'll be a few on the kind of bottom shelf of this main tray. What I'd normally do is just go through them all, so you know what sizes you've got and get them in the right order. Typically, you're going to want the range of like 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, probably the most common ones. So if you get those ready for yourself, it's probably a good starting point. So dig some of those out. Got 8.5 there. Do you want to go through those for me, Ellen? Just grab some others. 7. 8.
Check and key.
Huh?
Check and key. We don't have adapting. Bit.
No,
Okay.
no. I know. I get asked that a lot actually, and I think a lot of places don't have air adapters, which is why we make them for chucks.
Understandable.
So yeah, it would be much quicker, wouldn't it, if you
I don't mind. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, that's
But
fine. So yeah, so we'll get a few of those sizes ready. Okay. The other thing you're going to need for here is the kind of aiming arm. So in this section of the tray, you'll see there's a few different like aiming hooks. You want to take the one out that says Tib ACL. Okay, so that one says Tib ACL. You want to see that on the spine of it, and it's got this little like ring tip halo aimer. Okay, so to put this in, just match the shapes up, slides in there, and then you want to set it to 55. Okay, so there used to be a bit of a question over whether you put 55 in that little window or if you put 55 at the top. It is 55 at the top. Okay, so put it in there. If you do it with Mark Frame, he says do it in the window, okay, because that's how he's always done it, so that's fine. But for Morgan, 55 at the top. Okay, cool. So that's that bit. You take this little drill sleeve, and there's two ways of putting this in. You can either just slide it straight through, or you can open this little latch up, open that, pop it in, close it back up. Okay, I'll just show you that again. You've got this little latch here, so you just push that one side, opens that little trap door, and then slide it back across to lock it, and it will show you, to unlock, and then that way to lock, that little padlock icon. Okay, with this drill sleeve in here, if you've got the flat edge down, it will ratchet and not come back. Okay, if you need to take it back, just rotate it, and then it will come back. Okay, simple as that. So that's that bit done. If we look into, you've got them out already. Cool. So these little guides will be in the bottom of your trays. Okay, there's a few different colours here. These are our offset guides. So this little hook here kind of measures off the back of the condyle and gives you a set distance to come away when we're drilling the femur. Okay. I'll go into more detail about how you pick which one as we start doing the operation on these sawbones, but commonly it's a 6. Occasionally it's a 7. You have also got like a 5 in there, which you probably won't ever use, and an 8, which again you probably won't ever use. But green and gold are the ones you're probably going to come across. Okay, cool. Just whilst we're going through here, we'll touch on a couple of other bits. So if you were doing a case with screws, take your screwdriver handle, and then the screwdriver tip that you'd use for your screws here is this one. It's got quite a long kind of tip, and it's 1996 ED1. You can remember the codes, like me. But it's the one with the longest kind of shaft. Okay, that's the one you want for your screws. But you probably won't be doing loads of those. You've also got on the top here, you'll have you'll have this, which is like a chondra pick or kind of microfracture pick. So again, this can be used to mark on the condyle where people are going to drill. So that's quite useful to have. And then you've also got these blue blocks, which I imagine most of you are fairly familiar with. So these are the sizing blocks. So once you've got a graph construct, if you can kind of offer it up like this for your surgeon, and then they can run through and see what size, or you can just leave it on the prep board, drop it over and size it up on the prep board. Okay? Cool. That kind of covers off most of these instruments then. So what we'll do now, we'll kind of move across the tables and start having a go. And at this stage, it's not something you guys will have to do. So, but you'll end up with something that looks a little bit like this. Okay, so in fact, this one's probably nicer. So you've got the tightrope RT at the top. So that's the one we passed around the room. There you guys. That's going to be in the femur, and then you'll see at the bottom end here, I've got a tightrope that doesn't have a metal button on it. Okay, this is the ABS tightrope, which stands for Attachable Button System. Okay, so it doesn't have a button. There's another company that have got one of these, and they call it the Naked one, or their Naked version, which I think is such a better description than an attachable button system. But anyway, sometimes when this comes out, you might see the surgeon just want to lengthen these a little bit. So I'll just quickly show you how to lengthen the tightrope in case you ever do need to. If you look closely here, you'll see that both of these sides, okay, they kind of form these little loops. And if you look closely where they meet, you'll see that one side is running up inside the other. So you isolate that one, pull that through, and do the same on the other side. That's how you can then lengthen the tightrope out. Okay? The tightrope is essentially, this is one piece of suture that just runs through itself at a few different points and creates like Chinese finger traps in here, and that's how it kind of locks. Okay? Anyway, so that's what it'll look like. That's the graft that we're going to have ready to go. So that'll be sat to one side in a little compression tube whilst we get on with the next steps of the operation. Okay. So this is where I'm going to ask one of our lovely surgeons to step forward and do some drilling. So you've probably done that side, don't you?
Don't want to get in the way of people's cameras.
Cool. So there you go. There's one I made earlier. So we're going to use, we'll take a 6mm offset guide. So we're going to pretend that this is a 8mm graft, and I'll just quickly on the whiteboard over here show you how we can decide what size to use. So this is the femoral